What's up, guys? So my name is Cynthia. Welcome to my channel. So last time I did a video about the type of parenting styles or type of parents, and in that video I actually gave you 4 types of parenting styles or 4 types of parents that you can see, children or youth or just adults, that all of us, we grew under, we were brought under. And I gave 4 types of parenting styles. The first one was dominant parenting styles. The second one was negligent parenting styles. The third one was permissive parenting styles. And the fourth one was loving but firm parenting styles, or loving but firm parent. And all of us, you may have not been aware of the type of parent you are growing under. And so over time, as you continue to grow, you have acquired certain characteristics that even you yourself do not understand. You feel like they're just normal, but they're not normal, because you can find that you are aggressive, you're too aggressive, or you can find that you're too calm and collected, and you may never understand why you are like that. And that is why I'm doing this video, to help you understand, because it will help you even to heal and even to change yourself, to be a better person. Because even if you are aggressive, you can't be aggressive forever. Even if you're calm and collected, you can't be calm and collected forever, because people will misuse you at a certain point in time, and you need to fight for yourself. You need to stand firm for yourself. And if you are an aggressive person, you will find yourself in the wrong hands. You could find yourself in prison. You could find yourself, in destroyed relationships. God can help you find good, relationship or marriage, and you destroy it with your own hands, because of the type of parenting style that you grew under, but you never reconciled or made peace with it. And that is why I'm doing this video. And this is just the first one. I'm going to talk about the characteristics, traits that you have acquired as a result of growing up in the hands of your parent. So today we are going to start with this first parenting style, that is dominant. And in my last video I talked about how to identify if you grew under a dominant parent. I talked about the parenting styles. You can go and check it in my last video. Just go back to my page and you check the type of parents. I did a video like that, and I said that a dominant parent is a parent that has many rules, and they force it on the children, and the children most times do not understand why, because we all grew up, we all were born by an empty mind, okay? And as you continue to grow, you need parents who will take you through the process of growth and explain to you why you need to do this, why you need not to do this. And they don't have to do it forcefully. They need to show you love. They need to take you through it slowly, and with a lot of love and grace, so that you understand why you need not to do this and why you need to do this, why you need to follow the standard laid down by the authority, and how does it benefit you and not them. Because most times the dominant parents have many rules that they put on the children, and the children do not understand why they have to follow the rules. So many times they feel like the parent is the one who is benefiting and not them. And so you will identify that you are a dominant parent, or you grew up under a dominant parent, if they had many rules that they force on you without letting you understand why you need to follow them. And these are parents who had tense communication between you and them, and just a simple communication, or just driving an information to you, will lead to you being beaten up, or you being abused, and you just being told a word that it takes a long time for you to heal. And this these are parents who create a tense environment when they are around, and they are emotionally detached from the children, and the children are so discouraged. Okay, and so how will you identify that you grew up under a dominant parent, or that, okay, someone, your friend, it could be your colleague, it could be your boss? How will you know that they grew up under a dominant parent? And I'm not telling you this, just for, just to waste time, but I'm telling you, so that you develop grace, so that you understand when you see someone behave in a certain way, you can understand them and show them love. And you take them through the process. You know how to maneuver when you want to pass an information to them. Even if they are your bosses, you know how to deal with them. If there are people who are below you, you know how to deal with them. You develop grace, because this is what they went through, and this is how they have turned out to be, not because they love it, but because of the kind of parenting styles that they grew under. And so they need your love, they need your grace, they need your patience, they need your kindness. Okay, so I'm going to just go straight and give you the character traits of someone who grew up under a dominant parent. And the first character trait is, these are people who have low self-esteem. Someone who has low self-esteem, you'll identify them like this. Okay, for me, I grew up under a loving and firm parents, and so they affirmed me. They told me, you are beautiful, you're firm, you're confident, you are a smart person, you can make it, you can do it, you're going far. And so those affirmations got inside of me, and at this age it's difficult to undo the affirmation that was given to me. If you tell me now that I'm stupid, and that I'm not smart, and that I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, it won't get inside of me. Why? Because I already believe the truth about myself, and it's difficult to undo it. It is different from someone who grew up under a dominant parent. They lost their self-worth. They did not have parents to affirm them. These are parents who forever told them they're not good enough, they're not, as bright, there's nothing good that comes from them. They were abusive and, arrogant, and forcing things into them. And these are people who believe the lies that the parent told them when the parent was angered, or when the parent was forcing something on them. And you'll find that if you tell them you're stupid, they will believe it, because they have believed that about themselves for a long time. So you're just re-saying what they know about themselves. And so they will feel so hurt for many days, just because you told them stupid, because they have been told this lie and they have believed it about themselves. So you will identify someone who has low self-esteem or low self-worth when someone can tell them something about them, something, and they believe it, that is the truth about themselves. And so the first character trait is that these are people who have low self-esteem. The second character trait to identify from an adult, a youth, or just a child who is growing up, or who has grown up under a parent who is dominant, is that they're constantly rejecting standards or rules laid down by authority. It could be a home setting, it could be a place of work, it could be school, it could be the government. But these are people who are constantly rejecting the standards that are set by authority, just to prove that themselves, that they can, they're better off, to fill the vacuum of loneliness and lack of self-worth inside of them. They reject the rules just to prove that if they're now adults, they can tell their parents something, their parent can tell them do this, and they reject it, to claiming that I'm big enough, there's nothing you can tell me. And it was maybe something so small, it's something so little that the parent just said. It is because they have been rejected many times. There have been a lot of rules has been put inside inside of them, to an extent that they reject even the simplest of rules. They reject even just timekeeping. They reject, they're forever defending themselves just to prove themselves just to prove a point, because they lost their self-worth. So they constantly reject rules. They could even end up in drugs just to prove themselves, because after you have taken a drug, it makes you high, and now you feel like you're good enough, you're better, and your friends who are in the drugs also, they tell you how much you're powerful now, how much you're worth now, and they get into such activities like violence and all that. They're constantly rejecting rules. And so you will find someone that that had a parent who was so strict, and a parent who was it could be that parent was your teacher, and that teacher was the best. That teacher, he caned you, he made you the person you are today, but their children did not turn out like you, because at least for you, that teacher will beat you up, but there was another teacher to show you some love. And so in the process, inside the mix, you ended up appreciating the teacher, but the children have a different perspective about that teacher as their parent, because they were not good to them. They had a lot of rules, and they were tense, and they were violent and arrogant to them. And so the parent was strict, that they have high self-worth. Yet they were good people, good, well-to-do, but their children did not turn out to be like them because of the kind of parents they were. Okay. And the third character trait that you will identify from such children or adults who grew up under dominant parent is that they constantly discourage people who are trying to live under high, have high standards for themselves. These are people who, they could ask you, if you're a girl who, are you waiting until married before you have sex? And then you say yes, and then they're like, nah. We've seen people who did that, but they didn't manage. It is not possible to wait. It's not possible. You just do it. They will discourage you because they believe that it is not possible it is not possible to achieve a high standard and a standard of life or high self-worth or to obey rules. It is not possible to obey rules and be happy, because it was forced into them. They don't think the rules are to help them. They think the rules are to help the people who are imposing the rules. So they constantly discourage. So if you find a friend who's discouraging you about doing this and this about yourself, these are friends that you will call and tell them, I'm trying to start off a business, and I don't have the license, and they're like, no, you leave alone the license, just start the business. People who are doing the business without the license. They try to do away with the rules. They have rules. They run their life under their own rules. They are rejecting rules because they feel like the rules are for the benefit of the people who set them, and not for themselves. And the last character trait that you will identify from a child, an adult, or a youth who grew up under a dominant parent is that they are very loud and defiant. Okay, because there is an emptiness or silence inside of them that needs to be filled with some joy. And so there are people who talk so loudly, there are people who are so arrogant, they're so defiant, just to make themselves happy, that just to find the attention that they feel they deserve, because they feel like the attention is not so much on them. And so they find it so hard to be just cool and calm, because they feel at that point that they're not recognized, they're not identified, they're not appreciated. And so they're so loud people. So if you find someone who's so loud, never think that they're happy. Never think that they're in a good place. These are people, if they're your friends, you find time just to be with them, where you're just quiet and you're talking so cool with them, and find out what they could be going through. You could ask them something simple like, how is life? How are you doing? Because they could be loud in front of people, but when they're alone they cry. When they're alone, they weep. They are not happy because of the loneliness inside of them. These are people who are defiant. They reject just every kind of rule. They are defensive about just every simple thing that could just pass here and could not require some violent fighting or exchange of words or arguments. So I think this video was informative to you, and it could help you to practice grace when you interact with people. There are people who grew up under such parents, and so inside of them is some loneliness, lack of self-worth, and lack of self-esteem. And they are your relatives, they are your friends, they are your colleagues, and they are the people who sit next to you in the matatu. And you can find that you just stepped on them and it has become a big issue, and you said sorry, but now they could even abuse you and talk a lot all through the trip. Don't exchange words with them, because whatever they're going through, you don't know. It is so deep, it is from afar. You didn't cause it. They have gone through a lot in their lives that has caused the kind of angered people that they are, the kind of hurt people that they are. Okay, so practice grace. Be kind to people. You don't know what they are going through. You don't know what they have gone through. They need your love. They need your kindness. They need just to find that they can be arrogant to you, and you don't be arrogant to them. Okay, because you know what they're going through, and you just allow them to to digest your silence. Practice silence with them, because they if there are people who have believed that there's no one who is good to them in this world. And so if only they would find one person who is kind, one person who is cool, and one person who appreciates them, one person who affirms them, and maybe peradventure they could change and just be better people that you expect of your friend, you expect of your relative. They just need some love, they need some appreciation, they need some affirmation from you. And over time, when you continue doing this to them, they could change. They could realize the kind of hurt they have gone through. They could forgive their parents, they could forgive themselves, they could start living a new life, a normal life, just like you, who grew up under a loving and firm parent. Okay, so God bless you so much. My name is Cynthia, and I have been with you during this video, and I will post several videos, so you need to visit my page most times, because I talk about the Word of God and self-help issues, because I have gone through them, I have overcome. And now if I tell you, it is something that I have gone through, and I empathize with you, and I understand what you're going through, and I'm detailed, because I know what it is to go through what you're going through. Okay, so God bless you, and see you again next time. Bye.